The restraints bit into Commander Sarah Chen's wrists as she was escorted through the crystalline corridors of the Galactic Tribunal. Each step echoed in the vast halls, a rhythmic reminder of humanity's fallen status. The energy shackles hummed. With Zephyrian technology, designed to suppress even the most aggressive species in the galaxy, they had never been tested on a human before. The trial chamber stretched before her like a cathedral of judgment. 12 species sat in judgment. The Hegemony Council that had ruled the galaxy for 3 millennia. At the center, the towering Nexari Prime Judge loomed 15 feet above the floor, his 6 arms spread wide in a gesture of cosmic authority. To his left, the insectoid Kythera clicked their mandibles in anticipation. To his right, the gaseous Etherians pulsed with excited energy. Human designation Sarah Chen. The Prime Judge's voice boomed through universal translators. You stand accused of the systematic elimination of 17 hegemony fleets, the destruction of 4 orbital stations, and the murder of approximately 2 million sentient beings. How do you answer? Sarah lifted her chin, meeting the alien gazes without flinching. I answer that your mathematics are off by about 500,000. Gasps rippled through the assembly. The Cathara representative's antennae twitched violently. Impossible! The human fleet was destroyed. Your species surrendered unconditionally. A cold smile played across Sarah's lips. My species surrendered. I didn't. The Prime Judge leaned forward, his primary eyes narrowing. You claim to have acted alone? One human against the might of the hegemony? One human, Sarah confirmed, with nothing left to lose. The Etherian prosecutor flowed forward, its gaseous form shimmering with indignation. The defendant seeks to claim impossible feats. No single being could accomplish such devastation. We demand she reveal the location of the remaining human resistant cells. There are no resistant cells, Sarah said simply. You killed them. All on Terra Nova. Every last civilian settlement, every research station, every ship that tried to flee. You wanted to make an example of humanity for daring to refuse membership in your hegemony. Well, congratulations. You succeeded. The chamber fell silent. Even the energy shackles seemed to dim. The Prime Judge's secondary arms gestured toward a holographic display. These destruction patterns suggest coordinated fleet movements, tactical precision that requires multiple command structures. You're thinking like hegemony species, Sarah interrupted. Hierarchical, predictable. You can't conceive of a single individual becoming something you can't categorize or control. The Dracarian war minister, scales gleaming under the chamber lights, hissed his skepticism. No single mind can process the tactical data required for such campaigns. It is beyond biological possibility. Sarah's laugh was devoid of humor. Biological possibility? You've never studied human neurology under extreme stress, have you? You've never seen what happens when a human loses everything that made them human in the first place. She began to pace within her restraints, her voice taking on a lecturer's tone. When you destroyed Terra Nova, you killed my wife, my children, my entire extended family, my friends, my colleagues, my students. I was a xenobiology professor. Did you know that? I spent my life studying species like you, trying to understand how we could coexist. The Nexari Judge's tertiary arms shifted uncomfortably. Personal. Loss does not justify personal loss? Sarah's voice rose. You didn't just kill people. You killed the part of me that cared about consequences, about mercy, about the universal laws you claim to uphold. She stopped pacing, fixing each council member with her gaze. You created something new, Something your databases don't have a classification for. The Kithra representative leaned forward, mandibles clicking rapidly. Explain your methodology. How did one being coordinate such complex operations? Simple, Sarah replied. I stopped sleeping. Stopped eating regularly. Stopped feeling pain. The human brain, when pushed beyond its normal parameters by grief and rage, can maintain unprecedented levels of focus. I spent 18 months in a stolen hegemony cruiser, learning your tactical systems, your communication protocols, your fleet movements. She gestured with her shackled hands. Your greatest weakness is your diversity. 12 different species means 12 different command structures, communication delays, territorial disputes. I didn't fight 12 coordinated fleets. I fought 12 separate militaries that happened to share the same uniform. The Etherean prosecutor pulsed with disbelief. The tactical complexity alone was child's play once I realized the truth. Sarah's eyes had taken on a distant quality. You're not warriors. You're bureaucrats with weapons. You've been the galactic superpower for so long that you've forgotten how to fight something that doesn't follow your rules. The chamber erupted, in outraged, chittering, hissing, and gaseous fluctuations. The Prime Judge's 6 arms waved for silence. Even if we accept this impossible claim, he said, you still stand accused of mass murder. The council will now deliberate. No, Sarah said quietly, and something in her tone cut through the chamber noise like a blade. You won't. The energy shackles flickered, then died. You see, she continued, flexing her freed wrists. While you've been talking, I've been counting. Guard positions, weapon placements, structural weak points. The same pattern recognition that let me destroy your fleets. Alarms began blaring as security forces rushed toward the chamber. Sarah didn't move. The charges you planted during your capture, the Prime Judge demanded, his voice cracking with panic. Where? I didn't plant anything, Sarah said. I didn't need to. This tribunal chamber is built from Nexari crystal composite. Beautiful material, but it has a resonance frequency. And these universal translators, they emit a very specific harmonic when they process human speech patterns under stress. The crystalline walls began to vibrate. Hairline cracks appeared in the massive support pillars. Impossible, whispered the Dracarian minister. You keep using that word, Sarah observed, as the chamber began to collapse around them. I don't think it means what you think it means. The last thing the Galactic Council saw was Sarah Chen walking calmly toward the exit as their grand tribunal crumbled to dust around her hands empty, but her purpose fulfilled. She had walked in wearing shackles. She walked out carrying their legacy and leaving behind only rubble and the legend of what happened when the galaxy's mightiest civilization made the mistake of underestimating a single human with nothing left to lose. Tatar. Revolution would begin tomorrow, but today the score was settled.